Hello everyone,
Welcome back.
welcome to the video.
Another
Interesting matches,
Yeah, a
another
good
shocking,
game,
shocking results. Wow.
big results.
big results. Big results.
I
I
mean,
think
let's
we can.
let's start with the biggest of one.
Which one do you want? The Nottingham Forest taking revenge on Brighton, or not revenge on Brighton, taking
Uh,
their
The
Taking their
frustration.
anger and
frustration,
frustration.
or do you want Arsenal taking their
I think the
frustration
biggest
on Man City?
biggest match was Arsenal City. It
Yeah,
was
let's
like
start with
I
Arsenal versus City.
I think we can just do a quick recap. So,
Hmm.
first things first, being Arsenal 5-1 against City.
Yeah,
The next shocker, which we three wouldn't have, we predicted the Nottingham Forest win, but no one saw a 7-0 coming.
yeah.
Even Bournemouth 2-0 against Liverpool, or like 0-2 against Liverpool was kind of unexpected. And then I think the main result, or like I would not say was the biggest shock of the weekend, but United losing home at Crystal Palace 2-0
It's
was.
not a shocker anymore. United
yeah,
losing it's
yeah.
we
We are
we
dead inside.
we are dead inside. Yeah.
And then to round off the rest of the results, Newcastle losing at home against Fulham when leading 1-0. And then I got this prediction on. I thought that Spurs would lose against Brentford and Poch would be sacked, but he's still there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Ange would be sacked, not Poch. Poch is already sacked.
I
So
just like long back.
so Ange would be sacked. He's still there. And then Everton winning handsomely against
Yeah.
at home. And then I think another shocker. Saints going to 9 points from 6 points away at Ipswich.
Yep, yep.
That was also something which was unpredicted. And then last but not the least, Wolves.
Surprisingly, one more fixture: Wolves versus Aston Villa.
Hmm.
This is
Wolves
what I
won.
got right. I told that
Yeah,
Yeah,
one's
you got
playing
it
Champions
right.
League.
Yep, yep,
Wolves
yep.
won 2-0. So big result for them too. So basically, barring Ipswich and Leicester, the other teams in relegation contention, they they had victories over the weekend.
Yep. And I think with that being said, let's talk about the big game of the weekend, Arsenal versus City.
Wow.
Demolition.
I mean,
Stay humble,
Stay
eh?
humble.
shocking.
Stay
Stay
humble, eh?
humble.
Yeah. Shocking it was. Nobody expected City to
Yeah.
play that bad. The whole defense was in shambles. They never had a chance. I mean, how
Arsenal
shit
played
can
good
you
football
be?
too. Like the
Like
first goal was entirely the defensive mistake.
defensive mistake. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Akanji, right? It was Akanji.
Yeah,
Akanji. Yep,
Akanji.
it was
Yes,
Yeah.
Akanji.
yes.
So
And
horrible pass and Man City basically getting beaten at their own game of high pressing.
yep, yep.
But to be honest, didn't you both thought that the keeper basically did not do anything for City?
Yeah.
I think he was helpless and he probably lost concentration right in the start when they scored,
He did
Like,
not expect probably this
yep,
Arsenal ball. And that was a good ball from Declan Rice too, to be
yep,
honest.
yep, yep.
So a good pass. There was City defense was pushing up, trying to push up, but bad ball from Akanji, which led to the opener within 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yep, yep. I mean, AFT was celebrating as if they won the PL, so
Hmm.
it has to be
But
big.
the good part was at 1-1 when Haaland had scored.
Hmm.
I thought City would make a comeback, but immediately, literally within the next or 2 minutes,
Yeah, this
Partey scored from a deflection, and then
yeah,
Lewis Kelly,
Yep,
Havertz
yep, yep.
and
to round
Waneri.
1 area at
That was a
90.
brilliant goal, Ethan
Yep.
Waneri goal. There were
Yep,
many
yep.
intricate passes done by, and I believe I was looking at one of the images where there were intricate passes by the entire Arsenal team in the build up to that goal.
Yep.
So Arsenal played very good football.
Yeah,
Also, I
amazing.
think
I mean, near
Arsenal.
flawless, I would say.
Yeah,
Defense was on point. They never, I mean, City had their chances, but they never were like threatening, right in front of the goal, like how usually Haaland is. He's like right in the 6 yard
the
box.
midfield is lacking legs. Like we've been discussing it for past few weeks. I believe since we started with the podcast,
Yeah.
Yep.
we've been saying that their defense needs new legs. Uh,
Their
they-
defense, their midfield as well.
Midfield, sorry, not
It's
defense,
well as
midfield.
well. Yep.
They got reinforcements and they are getting reinforcement in the midfield too.
Yep.
Uh, And I feel letting go of Alvarez looks like a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Like last season, if Haaland wasn't when he was injured, he was out. You still had that constant threat from
Correct.
Alvarez
Yep.
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 in the attacking front. He's a different kind of striker. He's not as physical as Haaland. He's not a bully,
Yep.
but he's more of a pass and go ahead and like run into spaces kind of a striker. So, City is missing that. They are hoping for the uh, Marmoush, right?
Yes.
Marmoush. Yep.
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 For him to turn out similar. Let's see how it turns out. But currently, like at least in the first half of the season, they were missing Alvarez for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then the defensive shield of Rodri is missing, which is quite
That is
evident.
very
Very,
very
very
evident.
evident.
Yep.
Very evident.
Yep.
Yep.
Very, very evident. I think their whole midfield is just not able to run. And I think, again, it might be a time where City just goes mad in the summer window and just buys midfields left,
What
right, and
What do you guys think? Will Pep get his first sacking ever?
He just signed a contract, so he probably won't get a sack. Uh,
I mean,
there,
here's the scenario: they finish out of top five or top four, depending on the PL spots. Sorry, UCL spots, and they're facing Madrid, and
yeah.
possibly even if they beat Madrid, possibly Bayern as well. So,
mm,
um,
I Pep
tough games ahead.
I don't think so, Pep. I don't, even if Pep loses like 20 games in a row, I think the amount of wins he has had.
The legacy, he's basically created legacy at City, or wherever he's been, right?
Yep.
He couldn't win UCL with Bayern, but then he changed their entire system. They were very dominant in the Bundesliga. No other team was anywhere close to
Hmm.
defeating them in the Bundesliga. Uh, but at City as well, he's won a treble. He's won four titles on a bounce,
On a row. Yep.
and I
Yep.
believe total six titles, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Six titles. So it sacking him, and that too for City, who wasn't as big of a club before Pep came. Like they still won one Premier League.
Yep.
But then again, like Pep, he changed the entire system. He he got the style of football into them. He created a fear of Man City amongst opponents.
Hmm.
So looking at this legacy overall, I don't think they'll be sacking him. They'll probably it will be a mutual agreement, a mutual consent agreement.
I mean,
If at all it
even
comes to that stage, I know it's indirect sacking, but
it's even Moreno was mutually, terminated.
But
So,
then Pep will live on his own terms. I don't think
Yep.
there will be like if he feels that he's not able to contribute to City's success anymore,
hmm.
that's when I feel like he might take a step back. He might like he after he did at Barcelona, he might take a
Yes.
sabbatical and then
Hmm.
possibly come. Oh, and what Klopp is doing now?
Yep.
Yep.
But again, he won't do something like Klopp. I don't think so. He'll retire from management. Maybe he
Hmm.
goes to like a less competitive league, like a French league or something. Who
Paris
knows?
Saint-Germain.
Yep.
PSG.
Maybe he
I
takes
mean,
over Enrique,
yeah, yeah.
makes them win their first UCL. That would be his goal.
Yeah, that would be the biggest achievement. Making PSG won the UCL and making Spurs win a trophy.
Yep, that's true. That's true. I think the next game which we should be talking about is Forest bashing Brighton
That
left,
was
right,
a
and center.
shocker.
It was a shocker by the nature of the win. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
7
like
nil.
the goal margin.
Yep,
Yep.
Seven
yep,
7
goals. No
0.
one expected
That's,
Forest to trump to score seven against
I mean,
Brighton.
Brighton are not really that bad either. It's not like Southampton or Ipswich that, we
Yeah,
could have predicted it, but
Brighton
Forest were
again is a
just,
very unpredictable team. They played brilliantly against United. I
hmm,
believe they lost last game because
Everton 1-0.
Everton
Everton.
1-0,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
So
So
this
again, like
was
that wasn't that much of a big margin, but then 7-0 was a demolition.
so Everton played a low block 1-0 system
Mhm.
because they were winning 1-0. They just played a low
Yeah,
block,
makes sense.
and what the coach was expecting was, because he's a young coach as well, right? Brighton's
Mhm.
coach is very,
Hmm.
very young.
Puzzler.
Guzzler, exactly. So he was thinking that Nottingham Forest will play a low block, and he played every attacker possible. And he literally left his midfield and his defense to fend for themselves, and they got chewed off. So I was watching the match, and for me the standout performance was Morgan Gibbs White or Elanga. You can give it to either
Yep.
of them.
Langa
Even
had 3 assists.
Yep,
Yep.
and Chris
Yep.
Wood I think scored a hat trick in
Hat
that
trick.
match. But
Yep.
Gibbs White was running the show. He was just pinging passes left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I think Forest I think got 36% of possession,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they
20,
scored
26
seven.
or 36? Or
36. I think
36.
30,
36.
Yeah.
yeah, they had
Okay.
36. Yeah.
So they let Brighton control the ball,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it came to the
Whenever
goal.
it looked like
Even
whenever they
the
had it in their feet, it was a goal. Like,
even the analysts were saying like they lost 7-0, but if you look at the gameplay, it wasn't a bad Brighton performance. Like they
Yep,
weren't playing pathetic. But they like the scoreline says it. Scoreline reflects that, but the actual game wasn't as
game
bad.
doesn't. Yep. Yep. Yep.
exactly.
Reminds me of another 7-0 happened couple of years back.
Again, that was also the same
That
game, right?
time United
That
played bad. There's
not really.
No,
Actually, that
not really.
was
No.
The
kind of
first half
a
was very controlled. The
glitch. You
first half
can.
was very controlled, but
Yep.
then the
Yep.
second half, I don't know what happened. They put on glass slippers
Yep.
and they were just falling around here and there. There was no coordination between the players. They were left shell shocked
Yep.
after the third goal went in, especially.
I kind of feel it was again the 7-0 against United was it wasn't if you look at some of the goals, right? Especially the 6 and 7-1, they should never have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start hitting that 3 to 4 goal mark, right, then you lose your confidence.
Yep.
You are
Yep.
like, this is
Yep.
a gone game, and then mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Same
So,
happened with Brighton. Like
yep,
you could see, like after 4-0, like they just gave up. Like
yep,
they were not able to score, and then Forest was like left and right they were scoring.
exactly, exactly. And then coming to the most, I think the two most informed teams in the Premier League, Bournemouth and Liverpool. Uh, Liverpool won 2-0 comfortably. I would say thanks to Allison for like
Mm-hmm.
two really good saves. But
Justin
both
Kluivert had an off day.
he missed an open goal. He
He missed an
literally
Yep.
missed
open
an
goal,
Yep.
and that
open
was
goal.
a similar goal which he missed against Man
Man
City
City. Yes.
last time out.
I think
But
Arsenal might be
But
like
but
some
overall,
conspiracy
if you
against.
see the scoreline, it doesn't justify. Like Bournemouth had a good game. They were
yeah,
not really bad.
Yep.
I
to,
mean,
to be honest, the first penalty which
uh,
Gakpo, right? Gakpo tripped,
Yes.
it
yeah,
Yep.
it seemed very harsh.
Yes.
I'm not even.
But the only thing is
I
the Bournemouth player did not complain. That's the
yeah,
only
There
thing.
might have been a slight nudge,
probably nudge.
but the
Yeah,
Yep.
way Gakpo fell, that was very dramatic, to be
Yep.
honest.
Yep. I was surprised. I was like, how has this
I
been
thought
given
it
a
would be
penalty?
overturned. Like it
Same here.
from one angle, it was evident that he tripped on his own
it
foot.
on his own. Like
But
Yep.
I
yep,
believe
yep,
the referee might have felt there was a nudge before that, which eventually led to him tripping on his foot.
Yep.
yep,
Uh,
yep,
but then again, very soft penalty. There have
Yes.
been instances where it could have been a yellow for the striker too.
yep, yep,
Correct.
yep. I
Correct.
mean, VR is very inconsistent, especially this year. Like you see one penalty being given and a harsher tackle, like you see nothing. Like it's stupid.
Same, I think, with red cards, right? Like one tackle is considered as a red card worthy. Next one is okay. Yeah, it's not even a yellow. Like,
The funny thing was there was one post I believe put by Premier League
Yeah, yeah.
about the
yes, Doku
referees.
and
Referees.
McAllister. Yes,
Yeah, Doku and McAllister. That
that
was
is
funny.
itself is not given a penalty.
That
So,
was not given a red card or penalty. Yeah.
yep.
So
But again, Liverpool, as I had mentioned, right, they won't win 3-2, 4-0 that often.
mm,
They'll be winning like a 2-0 to 1 type, but they will just maintain that. Slot is made
Mhm.
like, okay, don't go forward, just keep the
mm,
ball, good chances. And then Salah going over Lampard on the weekend
yeah,
Hmm.
at 177 goals, I think now.
177.
Yep. So that's an achievement for I think next is Sergio Aguero with 184.
Next is
So
Aguero, then
Yeah,
Rooney,
probably
Kane.
this season.
yeah, probably this season. Let's see. Still half of the season is left. Let's see what happens.
We are left with what, 14 matches now?
14 matches, yes. I
14.
think
Yep.
15 for Liverpool because
Yeah,
one
one
game.
game
Yep.
now.
Yep.
That's next week.
Yep. So and then coming, I think for me this was the shocker of this week was United 2-0 losing at home against Crystal Palace.
So I
Well,
would say the first half was actually good for United.
Hmm.
And the goal that went in, it was mere fluke. Like the
Yes.
Yep,
ball,
yep,
uh,
Looped
Onana
over.
looped over and then it fell right in Mateta's foot.
Yep.
yep. Very
So
unlucky.
second goal was basically United trying to attack, but then open in defense, and then Lenny Yoro was left ball watching. So it was basically like United trying to attack Zirkzee, like his pass was intercepted, and then one more pass and directly assist for the goal.
Yep.
Yep.
And first half, United actually played well. They were kind of playing free flowing football.
But
Uh,
I
Yep.
think defensively we were okay. Like first half it was not as bad. But
yeah.
I think in second half we had our chances. Garnacho had a couple of them, missed it. Uh,
Yep.
One was like sure shot goal. He should have scored. Uh, but that's what basically
The
costed us the
horrible
game.
thing about that match was not the scoreline, but the injury for Lisandro
Oh
Martinez.
man,
And reports
His,
are coming in that he's got done his
it's an
ACL.
ACL. Yeah, it's
his
an
season
Out
is
for
ACL. So
6 to
this
8
basically
season
months.
is
over.
over. Probably 6 to 8 months. So maybe not even in summer.
So I
So
Yep.
don't think he'll be even doing preseason tour
no.
in the summer. So let's hope he gets fit soon.
So
Earliest.
the three current defenders who might play going forward will be Maguire, Euro, and maybe
Delhi.
Mazraoui. Oh,
We
yeah.
have
Shaw
Delhi.
is coming back. So maybe
We Yeah, Shaw is coming back.
left center back, probably
And
Shaw.
then just in case you have Lindelof as well as a backup.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still there.
He's still there,
And
exactly.
Johnny Evans is there.
Oh yeah, Johnny Evans is there as well. Correct, correct.
I
That,
mean, we
that,
have bodies, but those bodies are like hospital,
On their last.
hospital bodies for hospital.
the summer will be a huge clear out, I believe, for
Yes,
Yeah,
United.
yeah.
but
Uh,
then don't we
I'm
say this every summer about United?
Players have been going out, like many players who were redundant or just adding numbers in the wage bill. They've been gradually moved out, and there are still few left. But the problem, what happens is like there have been so many managerial changes. Each
Yep,
manager tries to get their own players in, and then couple of years down the road, new manager comes in, and then it feels that the earlier players brought in don't suit the new
Don't
manager's
say,
system.
yeah.
And that's what happening currently with Amorim as well.
yes.
Yeah. But
So
But I think
and
he
I
got
think
in.
there is like a tussle between the board and the manager as well. Board wants their players who like they can create a system of
I
their
believe
Yep,
own.
Zirkzee was signed similarly. So
Yeah,
board wanted to go for
Ugarte
Zirkzee.
was like similar. Board wanted it. This Ten Hag was going for Amrabat, like
No, Ugarte is
yep,
much better than
head
Amorim.
over head over heels, but then board didn't let him. So I think they are trying to establish it, but FFP rules and it's a hard market. Like whenever United comes in, it's like every big club they just play hardball.
yep,
Yeah,
Well, it's really hard to negotiate. But Amorim has like I think he signed 2.5 years contract if I'm
yeah,
not wrong. So that just doesn't justify me to give him all his player he wants. They'll probably create a system like the board. They will create a system that okay, we'll follow this kind of culture
hmm.
and sign such players. I don't think so. He'll get all his players.
No, at least the areas where, according to him, are the weakest, the team is the weakest. At least if they currently in this window, they get a couple of players in who fit his system. Like say, if he
Drogo.
wants a midfielder, right, a holding
Hmm.
midfielder. Just an example, we have Ugarte playing that role, and he's also trying Mainu in an experimental role.
Yep. Yep.
Last match he played him up front.
Yep,
Uh, there was no striker at the start. In the first half, Mainu was the striker. And behind him, I believe Ericsson and Garnacho, right, at the start?
Ericsson came later. I
No,
think
not
it was
Ericsson,
Garnacho and
Ahmad.
Ahmad.
hmm,
Garnacho and Ahmad. So he's trying, and even in the midweek game against FCSB, Mainu played just behind a striker. There was a Hoyland started that game, right?
Holland
yep,
started. Yep. Yep.
So he was just playing. So he's experimenting with the existing players to make them suit to his system.
Mhm.
Mainu, he was doing a good job. He's not a finisher, like he's not an out and out
Yep.
finisher.
Yep. You could
But
see that. Like you could
yeah,
see that
but
with his
creating the
movement.
runs, the passing needed up front, that's what I felt a positive note from his
Yeah.
performance.
I feel he was incredible as number 10
Yeah,
rather than a
Yep.
striker. So maybe, going forward, Bruno and him, interchanging roles or something. That probably should be the better way. But we need a striker,
Yep.
no doubt.
we need a goal scoring striker. We
Yeah.
have two strikers who aren't goal scoring.
Maybe let's see if you can get Gokares in the summer, but
That's where I believe the money will be put in.
Yep, yep.
That's where the major summer window would be gone for United.
yep. And I think Amay, as you said, right, Amaram still has 2.5 years on his contract. I think it's negative 7.5 because he's already aged 10 years. So yeah, that's for United again, a shock result as per me. Uh, so
And
next
the
being Newcastle Fulham. Again,
Shocker.
shocker again.
Joker, yeah,
Every
yeah.
and back to back, I think Newcastle have lost
No,
home
they
games
at home, yes. Last
at home.
last match they won 4-1, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
did
Last
they?
match they won,
Yes,
yeah, 4-1, and they lost before that.
yeah, 4-1-4. So
1-4, yeah.
1-4.
yeah, so again, Fulham
1-3,
have a
1-3. They won 1-3, sorry.
1-3. Sorry. So again, Fulham have a tendency of just going to like Chelsea. They won 1-2. Even Newcastle were winning this game, and Isak struck the post, but yeah, Fulham just
Hmm.
just carved out the win somehow. I think Rodrigo Muniz, who's like an 18-year-old, or he's a very young player. He just came up and just scored the winner.
He's young.
Uh, he's young. I believe he's
He
not.
was he was there in the team last season. Rodrigo Muniz was scoring goals last season.
Hmm. I think he isn't that old, if I'm not
Might
wrong.
not be old, but he was there in their
Oh,
team.
sorry, he's 23. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
not old, not that young. So, but
He's
yeah.
been there for 3 years. He's been there since 2021.
Hmm.
Yep, yep.
He's not. Isn't their main goal scorer? I think that is Jimenez.
Yeah.
But still, he just comes off the bench and just scores randomly. And I think he scored against Chelsea as well, if I'm not wrong.
He might.
So
I'll
yeah,
have to check.
I think one was Wilson and one was Muniz in the last minute. And so this was because this was Newcastle. Again, Man City have lost as well. So now the top four race is getting very interesting
Mhm.
with
Yep,
Chelsea,
yep.
and this is something which we'll discuss. Top four race is getting interesting between three clubs now. Newcastle, Bournemouth are there as well. It
Mhm.
just coming up there. Man City,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what do you guys think? Who wins? And then potentially top four and top five qualify for Champions League. So it mostly will be fourth and fifth going forward.
And
What do you
then there
think?
are there are other clubs, Aston Villa and Fulham also very close.
Yep. Villa
Yep.
is not that far. Fulham is close.
I think for me it would be City and then Chelsea.
Uh, With Villa getting reinforcements this window, I feel that they're probably aiming for that spot, fourth
Sean,
or
what?
fifth.
I would like to see Bournemouth in Champions League, to be honest.
Hmm.
Like I know, like if you look at a team, right? They don't have a star player per se. They are Newcastle has Alexander Isak,
Yep.
but Bournemouth doesn't have an out and out star player.
Yeah,
And
it's
Newcastle has spent a lot of money, to be honest. Like
Yes.
they spend on Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali. Then you have
Sack itself, right? 60 or
Isak
70
Isaac.
million.
Yep,
himself.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Then Sven Botman and everyone. They've spent money, but Bournemouth hasn't gone and bought any big players. So I'd like
Uh,
to see their journey, uh, like reaping rewards.
I think if Bournemouth finish top four, I'm pretty sure Semenyo will be bought by someone, or I hope he will be bought by someone.
Clivert will be in the market.
Probably, yeah. Clever will be in the market.
Yep.
Big names.
And then
Let's
Aston
see.
Villa has made a couple of shrewd signings. So you never
I
know. Like
mean,
they,
Asensio out of them was shocker for me,
yeah.
I think
honestly.
he's been on PSG's bench for a while now, so
But
I would.
Asensio in the past few seasons, he hasn't been like he
Yeah,
started off brilliantly at Real Madrid. He was touted to be
Yep.
the next big thing.
Yep.
But
yep,
then
yep.
he faded out. He hasn't looked at his best for past few seasons. But again, like if he's not their primary winger, he can be a shrewd
Yes.
loan signing, uh,
Hmm.
and he can provide them, and they are competing in Europe, so
Yep.
they'll need legs
Yep,
if they
yep.
want to
Yes.
sustain on both the fronts. So
Yes.
they've made shrewd signings. We'll be discussing that in the coming video as well. Let's see.
And
So I'd still prefer Bournemouth to come in Europe.
so the next game which we want to discuss about is Chelsea versus West Ham, which they won 2-1 today. West Ham were actually leading the game with Jared Bowen
Yeah,
scoring,
Hmm.
and then Chelsea came back with Pedro Neto and Palmer scoring the winner. It was a
deflected
heavily
goal, own goal
deflected goal
Yep,
on
yep, yep.
by Van Bissaka.
by
Van
Bissaka.
Bissaka.
But Chelsea hold through. They are currently fourth,
Mm.
and it's getting very tight at top four.
Yeah,
Chelsea again did not look convincing today, I would say. But once Neto came into the picture, once he replaced Sancho, then Chelsea were really good. Again, Chelsea might even go for a striker, right? Because Nicholas Jackson is not
Hmm.
performing that well.
I would say they need a striker. You can't. I'm not that much of a fan of Nicholas Jackson.
Yep,
He had his moments at the start of the season, but ever since then, he's fizzled out,
Yep,
yep,
yep.
and he looks more of a liability right now.
correct, correct, exactly. Yeah, maybe
And
they
then
bid.
Nkunku hasn't worked out for them. They hope to get him as like a ball, like somewhat similar to Joao Felix.
Yep,
Hmm.
But then again, like both of them haven't worked out. I was reading that Felix was
just
on his way out. I'm not sure if
Milan. Yeah, he's done. It's done.
it's done. Okay.
Yep. He was
So
supposed to go to Villa, but I'm not sure how that happened, and he's gone to Milan. So
okay.
yeah,
But again, like they should go in for a striker.
yep.
I'm pretty surprised no one goes for Lautaro Martinez.
I'm pretty. What I'm hearing is Arsenal might try for him or Benjamin Sesko in the summer. Again, a topic for next video
Yeah.
where this might
Yep.
come up for sure.
Okay, and then we have
Spurs versus
Spurs versus
Brentford.
Brentford.
A very shocking victory for Spurs.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this is the end of Ange, but he survives to see another game week. Son and Spence scoring for them, and
Own goal, right?
I think Spence was an own goal score, and this one, I think
There was
Son again.
Pape Matar Sarr.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Pavemento sir. Correct. And and Son again scored from the corner, like
Yeah,
direct corner goal. So
it was given as an own goal.
Yep.
correct. So that was that was one of the fixtures where I was thinking was okay. This might be the end of Ange, but he's still in
He's
there.
still holding on.
Yep. And then to finish off the fixtures, I think Everton 4-0 winners against
Big win
Leicester.
for Everton.
Yes,
Yep.
and
Yep.
right before the Merseyside derby. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Amay
Everton are actually playing decent. They are not playing bad in the
after
last
Moyes
few
has
years.
come in. Yep.
Mhm.
They scored a goal in 10 seconds. I think the fourth
Yeah,
Yeah, the
11
11
second.
second.
Like
And they've
fourth
won three on a
fastest.
bounce in the league.
yep.
Hmm.
Yep. And Goodison Park is again becoming a tough place
Fortress.
to go to.
Forte. Yep, yep, yep.
I think everyone had predicted a Everton win. I think Amay had predicted 2-0 win and me and Sushant had predicted a 1-0 win.
1-0 win,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
But it
won
was
4-0.
rather convincing. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And then to finish off the game week, Wolves versus Aston Villa. Wolves getting a 2-0 result against Villa. And this is something which I've noticed about Villa is once they play Champions League and they play a hard game
Hmm.
there, or if they play a very hard game in the league, they falter in the next match
Yeah.
basically.
You mentioned it in the
Yeah.
preview.
Previous video. Yep. Yep. Yep.
That is that is how the game,
That's the reason, like we were discussing about Villa earlier. That could be a reason they've gone for reinforcements.
and they
Yeah.
made good money in this window by selling John
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duran.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I think
And
one
then
of the videos which we three have an opinion on is money versus football, especially when it comes to like John Duran. He's being paid a massive fortune in Saudi.
yeah,
Yep.
we will
Yep.
get to that in our next video. There's plenty to talk about it.
I
I have I have lots of opinion on that topic.
Yeah.
think I think everyone has a mixed opinion. A lot of people are like, it's not a good thing. He's 21. He should learn the game. improve, and then other people have being paid like a
This
shit
is
ton
the
of
time.
money.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's basically securing his future generations.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And then he's 21, right? So he can
Yeah,
always come back to Europe later
yeah.
in the future.
Okay, and
But
then
what do you guys think? The main shocker of this game week.
score wise, and actually, like considering the magnitude of the games, Arsenal versus City,
Yeah,
I
for
thought
me.
it would be tight or even an Arsenal victory, but like by a margin of 4 goals, uh, unheard of.
I had honestly predicted City to win, uh, but then Arsenal never gave them a chance. So that was like a shocker. It was laughable game. I mean, City losing like that just gives you like butterflies.
Yeah,
I think someone had put a stat that this was like a pre 2008 City
Yeah, yeah. I think
where
8-0 or 8-1.
Middlesbrough.
They
8-1
lost
against
Middlesbrough,
Middlesbrough. That was the
and
last game of the season, right?
Yes,
yeah,
I
and
think they had got
this
relegated.
is the first
No, they did
time.
not get relegated. They
No,
did not get relegated, but they were bought
they were
by
bought by Oil,
Yeah,
but
and 116 is still there.
let's see if that increases.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I think for me too, Arsenal versus City 5-1, especially after a 1-1 in the 55th minute.
Yeah.
yep, yep,
Had it been like, okay, they are consistently scoring goals, then what, 35 minutes to go in the match, you are at 1-1. I
And
think you
that
just,
too, playing against a team like Arsenal doesn't have an out and out striker,
mm-hmm.
yep,
and they are missing one of their key player in
Key
Saka.
player, yep,
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 So
yep.
considering those facts, a big win for
Big win,
Arsenal.
and
And
they need.
considering what happened in the last match, the fracas which happened between
Yep,
Haaland and
yep, yep, yep.
Gabriel and
yep,
Arteta.
yep. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but they were playing Kendrick Lamar's Stay Humble
Stay
after the
Yeah,
humble,
goal.
yeah, yeah. Classic shithousery.
rubbing salt in the wounds.
Classic, yeah, classic shithousery, like
Yeah.
humble. But yeah, I'm not sure how many water bottles will Pep Guardiola now order from like Amazon because every time he concedes a goal, he drinks water. So
Yep,
it was
yep. But
hilarious.
yeah, anyway, I think it was a really good week. Really
We
good
have
week
FA
of
Cup
football.
fixture this week.
Yeah,
Yep,
Not a lot of football, but we'll be meeting soon for the transfers videos.
yep.
So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you all for joining us for this video.
yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, guys.
Yep.
Please like,
Bye.
subscribe, and share.
Yeah.